Everybody, welcome back to Powers Not Included. We have a special guest with us today, Amanda Miller. How are you doing today?
I am fantastic.
Excellent. So, tell me about the fun you've been having at the con.
Yeah, I mean, we've been I'm getting to meet all these people here. It's the first year of the con, right?
Yes.
This is a really good turnout for a first-year con.
Yeah.
Good job. Yeah, me and Courtney Taylor just had like a really fun panel where we kind of just combined our powers and...
Our powers combined.
Well, because originally it was like I had a panel and then she had a panel, but then she showed up. She's like, "You don't want to just continue this and have it just merge into like a Voltron of panels?"
Voltron.
So we got to tell crazy stories about the voice acting world, and she does a lot of Mocap, so she might have shared that story with you.
I don't know if I got that one. What is that story? Tell us a little.
I mean, she shared it with the panel, so I guess it's fine. But like, she basically was like, they had to tape her into a mocap suit because it was too small, and they were worried about it riding up. So when she had to go to the bathroom, she kind of had to take it off, and then it was like stuck here, and so it's like under her, and then she like had to go pee, and then there was no toilet paper, and so then she's just like, and she's wearing like a yellow suit, so it's like people would notice if there was like pee on it. So she's like, and so she's like trying to like reach for like the paper towels, and so she's like, and she eventually figured it out. But she was just like, could you imagine if somebody had to like come in and she's like, help, I'm stuck and I have to go potty.
That's strenuous. So, can you top that story?
I've never done mocap. I feel like I want to, although I don't know if I want to, because they make you wear these spandex suits, and I don't look good in spandex.
Me either.
I was like, I don't know very many people who do. But yeah, like running around with like all these like white balls on you and spandex is like probably not my look. But
You can try it out for the next video game or something.
right. No, it'd be great. Like now they're even sometimes using actors' faces, which I think would be kind of cool to be like immortalized in a video game. Because like sometimes they'll do face cap, which is like your facial expressions, but then they'll put like another face over it. But like my friend Jeremy Lee, she's the voice of Sailor Venus and all that, and she is the quartermaster, I think is the name, in, was it Call of Duty? Mm-hmm. One of those war games. It's like a 1940s like World War II game, and she like it's her face in the game, and it's the creepiest thing.
That is weird, especially if you know the person.
I know her, and it's her voice, it's her face, it's like.
She's out there killing people.
Right, she's like in the 1940s, and she's like, well, soldier, and I'm like, oh, it's so weird. Mm-hmm. Anyway.
So cool. So tell me, what's the fun project we're working on now?
Well, I have a couple cool ones I can't talk about yet, which sucks because they make us sign NDAs, so like non-disclosure agreements. But I'm doing some stuff for DreamWorks. I've done a couple little Disney TV things. I wish I could talk more about what they are. But
I think just name dropping DreamWorks in Disney TV is pretty major.
Okay, then I'll leave it at that. It probably makes it sound cooler than it is.
I got a complicated name.
But yeah, DreamWorks is really cool, and that stuff ends up on Netflix. So I don't know why I started talking about that. It was on Netflix. I had a point. But you don't realize how long it takes and how many people are involved in making animated stuff until you are in one. Because like you might do the voice for it, and then it doesn't come out for a year or two because they have to animate it. So it's a lot of tedious work, but I really admire the artists. I can't draw.
So how long have you been in voice acting?
I mean, I moved to LA about 8 years ago after graduating from theater school. So like I was kind of practicing for voice acting in college, but I think I started it about 8 years ago. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
So you're the voice of Sailor Mercury?
Sailor Jupiter.
Sailor Jupiter. Okay. So you're the voice of Sailor Jupiter. We'll edit that out. You're the voice of Sailor Jupiter. Is that in the new series? Because
it's both. It's really confusing. So there's the version that people grew up with in the 90s with the Deke dub, which I watched growing up on Toonami, and it was fantastic. And so if you ever meet Susan Roman or any of them, like that, they're the original cast, and they're fantastic. And then in about 2014, Viz Media acquired the rights to the original series, and so they started redubbing that footage. It was like remastered footage. Mm-hmm. So it's still like the 90s show, but it's closer to the Japanese, because in the original it was the 90s, so they had to cut some stuff out that they thought was like, we don't want these characters to actually die, so we'll just say they got kidnapped, like kind of softened some of the stuff. They made, two women who were in love, they made them cousins.
Yeah, I remember all that.
So
yeah.
in the Viz dub, they tried to be a little closer to the Japanese, but then they also did Crystal, which is like a reboot, new series, right? Based off of the manga.
Okay.
That has nothing. So it has nothing to do with the original show. So it gets kind of confusing because it's like, yes, I was in the original, but not the original. I'm in the redub of the original.
Yeah.
So
is this like you watched it as a kid, so is this kind of like a dream come true for you?
Especially because Jupiter was my favorite.
Oh, wow.
Like, it's like the odds of it all lining up like that are so weird because what are the odds of like growing up in the 90s and like becoming a voice actor and being in the city where they're dubbing it? Because originally the rumor had been that they were going to do it in Texas. So I assumed, I'm like, I won't be in on that. And so it's like, being in the right city at the right time, having the voice that got chosen for it, which was also so crazy because I didn't realize in the audition process we emailed our auditions in, and then they narrowed it down to like their top 10, top 5, whatever, and then they took the names off of them and just said audition 1, audition 2, audition 3, so there was no bias as to like who got cast. And then they sent them to Japan, and the creator of the show, like Naoko Takeuchi, I hope I didn't butcher that, she picked the final voices of those top 10.
Oh, wow.
So like to hear that and to realize, like, because at first I was really nervous. I was like, this is my favorite character. I don't want to mess her up. Like, so many people love this show and love this character, and they're all counting on me.
Okay.
And it was when I learned that the woman who created her heard my voice and was like, that's my Jupiter. It made me kind of feel more like, okay, maybe I'm supposed to be here. Maybe this isn't a fluke. You know?
Well, if it's your favorite character, I feel like maybe you knew the inflection, maybe you knew how you felt like the character should be, and maybe the creator really liked that.
Like I think also because I was also a tomboy growing up, but like Jupiter was the first time I had seen somebody who was like a tomboy and had like masculine traits but also had feminine traits, and like she liked to bake and she wanted to be a bride, but she also could throw a grown man over her head, and and like judo or whatever.
Yeah.
So and being I played soccer. I was also the tallest kid in my class and was like awkward and made fun of. And then, I played hockey, but then I also liked, Sailor Moon, and I liked glittery stuff, and I liked Disney princesses. So I think she also helped me. It's a weird thing. It's like she helped shape who I am, kind of, because she let me feel okay being myself. So when the time came to be her, all that was already...
It was already woven into
had been stewed into the fabric of my... I'm mixing my analogies. You don't stew things in the fabric.
Stew things in the fabric. I'm a big fan of Naruto, and you are on Boruto, and you actually play Boruto.
Yes.
What was that like?
It was really cool because... it was a little nerve-wracking because it's such a huge franchise, and so there's a lot of expectations, but it's weird. I don't know why I relate to Boruto so much, because my dad was really cool to me.
Yeah.
But there's something about him that's so, like, endearing, because it's like, he can be a little butthole, but, like,
just like his dad.
Right, exactly. I think that's why I like it, is that, like, people are like, why is he so annoying? It's like, do you remember Naruto? Like, he takes after his dad, and I love the dynamic where it's like, Boruto might be painting his dad's face on the monuments or whatever,
monuments.
Or he might be like, but then if his dad says you did a good job, he's like, like, it's just that I feel like we're all kind of like that, where it's like, we're like, I hate you, I love you, I don't know what I want. And so I just think he's at the end of the day, even when he has that like bravado, he's like, whatever, I can do whatever I want.
A lot of people, I feel like they watch so much of Naruto Shippuden. By the time they got to Boruto, they forgot like what a little little jerk that Naruto was when he started, and a lot of that was because he was an orphan and all that stuff, and nobody wanted anything to do with him.
So he's like had that false confidence to hide the fact that he was a human being and like he's hurts.
So, what's your like favorite part of doing that? Like what was your favorite moment in Boruto? Like was it a certain? Was there anything that invoked a feeling that you really enjoyed? Or
the series hasn't come out yet, the dubbed version, but for the movie, I really loved so the whole movie, Boruto is kind of like, well, my dad's not here. My dad's the worst. He's so lame. And so then he gets kidnapped, or Naruto gets kidnapped. And there's a scene at the end where like Boruto finally understands him and he sees all that his dad went through. And there's like a really, like, I won't say too much, but like it's a really touching scene. And they like make a Rasengan together.
Yeah.
And it's just like a heart, a little heart.
Naruto, especially Naruto, like I haven't watched a lot of Boruto, but Naruto is full of those moments. Like, how much of it have you watched? Quite a bit of it.
I thought I had, and then I realized I wasn't even like. I think I'm in like season 2 because I watched it like on Toonami back like years ago, and then I realized I'm nowhere. Like 700 episodes. Oh, you're not even dipping your toe in the water in season 2.
There's like a part in the later on down in the series where, do you know who Kakashi is?
Yeah.
Okay, there's a part where Naruto steps out in front of Kakashi, and Kakashi's like getting up, and he sees the fourth Hokage, and it's really Naruto standing there with his Kahachi on and everything, and it's just that's touching to me. Like I like the whole dynamic of, this is the father, this is the son, and they act so much alike.
They love you. That's what I love. Is like even Sasuke acts like he hates them, but he would die for them.
Oh,
like, they all have such a strong family bond, which is nice for people who either their family was murdered or their family just wasn't around. I like this kind of hodgepodge makeshift team that they've assembled.
So when is the dub coming out?
I actually am not sure. Viz
really?
keeps us in the dark, I guess, because they don't want us to leak things or something.
Okay.
But I imagine not too far off. They might be waiting till the end of Shippuden.
Okay.
Which I don't think.
It hasn't ended in America yet?
I don't think so. I think the dub for Shippuden is. Yeah, I don't think they've aired all the dub episodes.
Okay.
But
there's still. I mean, the weird thing about Shippuden is they there's so much. There's like probably 12 episodes that go on after the end that kind of go through and wrap up.
Like a really long epilogue.
Yeah. I won't go through what it goes through, but it's like this is what's happening with Sasuke and this is what's happening with Naruto.
Oh, interesting.
And I think that kind of leads into the Boruto movie and then into the anime itself. So.
I think the movie, the Boruto movie, is supposed to be like, it's weird. It's like a time jump, and then the series jumps back. So it's like the movie kind of shows where they not end up, but like it's like I think it's like the end of season 1 kind of thing. Because at the beginning of the series, he doesn't fully hate his dad yet. He's annoyed by him, but like in the movie, he's like, I hate you.
Yeah.
So we kind of get the series kind of starts to show you how they got there, but then it also goes past that. Because have you seen the opening scene of Boruto, the series?
I think I saw it on a video game. You're talking about the
where it's like that flash forward to when he's like a grown up and he's like missing, like
with the glowing eye and all that stuff and the destroyed monument and everything.
So I think that's where they're ultimately going to end up.
Yeah,
so I'm excited to see that.
And that's another thing I like about. I love it when they do that. They give you a little taste of what's going to happen, and then they go forward.
Right. They're like, bet you want to stay tuned to figure out how that happened.
So how did you end up in Boruto? Like, I know you talked about the process of Sailor Moon.
I feel like it's not that exciting. Basically it's the same studio that did Sailor Moon, so the casting director already kind of knew my work. And so basically when they had auditions, he just sent me an audition and I recorded it and sent it back.
But not quite like the whole Sailor Moon thing.
No, the Sailor Moon thing was like a whole.
That was like a life-changing thing for you.
Well, no, it's not just that it was more life-changing. It's just that he didn't tell me that he didn't tell me I was in the show. He was just like, "Hey, if we had an announcement at Anime Expo this year, would you be available?" And I was like, "For what?" He's like, "Nothing." And I was like, so he didn't say you'd been cast. He was just like, if this thing happens, would you be available? And then like 2 weeks later, he was like, congratulations, you're in the show. And this was like 2 months after I had initially auditioned, and I hadn't heard anything except if there was an announcement, so he's like, oh, you're in Sailor Moon. And then I was like, cool. And then he didn't tell me who I was. Yeah. So it took another 2 months before, it's like a 4-month process of finally figuring out, oh, you're cast as Sailor Jupiter. Whereas this one was more straightforward. It's like, you're auditioning for Boruto. Congratulations, you got Boruto. Although they were like, we start tomorrow. Yeah. Like, we literally started the video game the day after I got cast. Yeah. So.
The video game I love their video game. They're really interesting. I think the same people are going to be doing My Hero Academia.
Oh, interesting.
Games. Yeah. So, is there anything as far as that goes, is there anything that you can talk about that you've got coming up, or is there anything that you want to plug?
Like about video games, or just in general?
Or just anything. Is there anything that you want to plug, or anything that you can talk about that?
I mean, yeah, I think it's mostly like we have more Sailor Moon coming out. Obviously, we have Boruto is going to come out at some point, and then. Yeah, I can't talk about the Disney and DreamWorks stuff, but like that's all I can say is like for those things. So stay tuned. But I do have a web series that I quite enjoy because I wrote it and I'm in it. It's called Ghosts and Stuff Inc. and it's basically like Parks and Rec meets Ghostbusters.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's just kind of like I love comedy, like situational comedies, like Parks and Rec. You just love the characters and you love the way they love each other. So like I would totally watch Ron and Leslie or Tom or Andy or any of them doing anything. It doesn't even have to be anything parks related. So I kind of wanted to do a show where I'm like, what if it's more about like the relationships and then they also happen to be ghost hunters so that there are also, it's like Parks and Rec and ghosts.
Yeah.
So that's on YouTube. So subscribe and follow us. It's like Ghosts and Stuff.
Okay.
Like Bed Bath and Beyond. But yeah, Ghosts and Stuff Inc. Because if you type Ghosts and Stuff, it's a Dead Mouse song, which I learned after we had started filming it. So
it's a what?
It's a Dead Mouse song. So they're the thing that comes up unless you type Ghosts and Stuff Inc. But we had Martin Billany who plays he's Little Karibo. He does like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged series. Have you familiar with those? But he's in the series as well. Like he does like a little cameo, and so his character calls that out. He's like, "Isn't there already a song called Ghosts and Stuff?" So I just figured lean into it.
Fourth walled it a little.
Oh yeah. Well yeah. He plays the editor, so like he pauses the show at one point. And he's like, "There's too much dialogue," and I don't know. Like and like it's kind of like the voice of the audience, kind of like Jim Gaffigan. Oh my God, Jim Gaffigan.
Yeah.
I was trying to turn it into a verb. I was like Jim Gaffiganing, but that's real difficult to say.
That's what he does. Gaffening. So.
Yeah, gaffening, whatever. You know what I meant to say. But yeah. So
if you could pick something to work on next, like you start calling the shots, what would you pick to work on?
Oh my gosh, I would love to do more on camera work. Like I would love to be on a TV show, like a Joss Whedon series where I'm like a quirky hacker who like gets killed too early, and so everybody will love me forever because I died before I got annoying.
And the fans are angry, so they keep bringing you for flashbacks.
Exactly. Like they're trying to and then. Basically, I just want to model Alan Tudyk's career. But anyway, I would love to be... Obviously, I'd love to be in more original animation stuff. I'd love to be, I don't know, a Disney princess one day, but I feel like I'd be a very unique Disney princess because I feel like I have more of a tomboyish voice.
Hey, they need a Disney princess, but, fill in the blank.
That would be so cool. Like a snarky Disney princess.
I think that it's coming.
I think it's due.
It's due.
Yeah.
So
she's like, whatever. I don't have time for your kisses, Prince Charming. I don't even know who you are. I have Mace.
You don't even have a car.
Right. Like, I have my own job. I don't need you. Okay, bye.
So Marvel Comics, Marvel Studios.
Well, they already gave away the role that I was supposed to do. No, when I saw Thor Ragnarok, I was like, Tessa Thompson has the best part.
Valkyrie, yeah.
Valkyrie is so cool, and she gets to be like this like snarky, beer swilling, whatever. I'm like, that would have been if I was to be cast as anything, it probably would. That's like the role it would have been. So if there's another character in the Marvel universe that's like that, I would love to be a superhero. I need to do a little bit more push-ups first, but I would love to do that. So.
Sure, maybe you could be She-Hulk or something.
Hey, just like.
So you might if first, My Hero Academia season 4. My Hero Academia season 4. They're gonna hit her up at my recommendation.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We got a lot of clout with them
because he said so.
Yeah.
Said so.
They listen to the show on that.
So is there anything else you wanted to throw out?
No, I mean, find me on social media. I would say all the different handles, but they're all different and I forget them. So just go to amandacmiller.com and
find you.
All of my social media is on there, like my YouTube.
Find the Ghost and Stuff.
Yeah, you can find my web series. You can find all that. You can find the audiobooks that I've narrated on Audible there. Like you can.
Oh, sweet. Which book have you done?
There wouldn't be like books that you'd know, but they're really fun. There's like Wizard of Oz, a steampunk adventure. There's like a paranormal Egyptian, like ancient Egyptian one called the Sekhmet Bed. Like there's all these different like. There's some cool ones. There's a time traveling one. It's like Sage Hannigan, time warper novel. they're all like really fun. They're like YA, young adult stuff.
Check that out.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
A good old handshake there.
Nice firm handshake.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you again to HeroShot Media.